Save big on select Whirlpool and Maytag appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get deals on top items like the Whirlpool stainless steel kitchen suite and Maytag Pet Pro laundry pair that removes 5 times more pet hair. Plus, get free delivery when you spend $396 or more. Shop appliances for less in-store or online at Lowe's. Comparing normal cycle with Pet Pro filter and option to cycle using traditional agitator without Pet Pro filter and option. Results will vary based on fabric and type of pet hair. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. Offer ends 3/8.
Yeah, obvious, we got a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and Friend on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Take it to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Mini-sodes. Hello, folks. Welcome to another Tales from the Hood mini-sodes. I'm Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Francel Evans. What's going on, Fran?
Not much, just chilling. What we got today?
Oh, Fran, we got some good ones as always. Before we get into things, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Send us in that crazy, that wild, that deep, unbelievable stuff that's happened to you. If you need, sometimes people, you need to vent, and we want to be your ventees. So, and no latte. And so please feel free to hit us up, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. We would love to hear your stories, your tales. Bring them in, send them in, get them in, be a part of the podcast. We can't wait to hear from you. Fran, we're going to kick things off from a listener who has an email that says, your hairstylist might have a past. Hi, Alvin and Fran. I'm on a road trip back to Virginia from Atlanta, so I've got some time to spare, and I thought I'd write in. Oh, it seemed all cool, laid back, played it chill. I like it. My sister and I were talking the other day, and it unlocked a memory from my early days in college when I was working as a hairstylist to pay my way through college. I was working at a chain salon, like the type that you see at next to any grocery store, making next to nothing, but I loved it. It was a slow night, and one of my managers, Felicia, who definitely lived up to that name, but that's a story for another day, came in the back room and said that one of her friends from cosmetology school was up front and to come meet her. She was a sweet, short Hispanic woman, very friendly and lively. She told us her name, which I forgot instantly because I'm horrible with names. And that's
same.
Yeah, same. Totally. Hey, we relate to. Oh man, I relate to that one. What's up, guy? What's up, girl? What's up, love? What's up, king? I'll say some shit to make you feel good just because I don't know your name. Wow. What's up, beloved? Don't know. Couldn't tell you from. Don't know you from Adam. What's up, queen? Don't know the first letter. Couldn't even give you a first letter. Yeah, so she said she was horrible with names and that she recently started her own salon and that she just wanted to come in and check on her girl, who was her friend, who was the manager. I thought nothing of it until we started closing. Felicia says, you know who she is, right? Obviously not Felicia. Eye roll emoji, LOL. Then she spills it. That's Lorena Bobbitt. Yup, the infamous Lorena Bobbitt. You know who Lorena Bobbitt is, friend?
I think I do.
Yeah, she like cut her husband's dick off. Or bit it off or something.
That's not what the Lorena Bobbitt was.
Okay, who would you think Lorena Bobbitt was?
It's not a singer. It's not at all?
No, there's not like another Lorena Bobbitt. I don't know who you're thinking of. I don't know who you're I couldn't even. This is one. You got me on that. I usually can speak, Fran.
The name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's pop culturally relevant for sure. She bit her husband's dick off. That's what she's famous for.
So I heard her name in a song.
You probably bit it off like Lorena Bobbitt. That's what maybe Lil Wayne or something.
I said a singer, didn't I? But
I guess
you can put two and two together.
I see now. I'm speaking, Fran. Now a punchline from a rap singer. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So that's Lorena Bobbitt.
Is that her real name?
Yeah.
Lorena Bobbitt is her real name. That's her government name.
Yeah. Why does that sound funny to you? Yeah. So she goes, that was Lorena Bobbitt. My innocent little 19-year-old brain exploded. I was just face to face with a celebrity and had no idea.
Celebrity.
Yes. This is a popular trial, man. I also love that her career of choice after that whole ordeal was to become a hairdresser. A job where you're holding scissors all day, every day, makes sense though, since she was clearly very skilled at using them. So she cut her husband's She's cut her husband's dick off with scissors. Sidebar, funny enough, her husband rumored, I never saw it personally, got his dick got sewn back on, and wasn't her husband. They got divorced. Did porn.
He did porn after with a soda.
Or did a porno. I don't know if he became a porn star, but I think he did like a sex tape thing.
He cheated or something? What's the reason?
Yeah, I think he cheated and she cut his dick off.
Cut his dick off.
But I don't know all the details. He might have been in the wrong. He like the tip. A piece of it. Yeah, a piece of it. Yeah. And he, yeah.
You didn't have to say that.
What?
You didn't have to say that. I just asked you to cut it off. All you had to say was yes or no.
Well, she didn't cut it off. She cut some of it off.
God, man.
So, but I don't know. I'm sure he was wrong in some kind of way. I don't know. I don't know the full story. But the end of the story is she cut his dick off with some scissors or something. But they sewed it back on. And apparently, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to Google it. All right, and I'm not going to do it right now. I think he did a porno, like a sex tape thing, with his sewn back on dick. Also, cool name, sewn back on dick. That's a cool name. Anyway,
An idiot, man.
Fast forward a few years and my sister starts dating her now husband in high school. At the time, he was working as a barista at the Target Starbucks near our house, and I would take her to see him at work in the evenings, and he would give us free drinks. Also, another sidebar. Did you know that at the Target Starbucks, just found this out, Target Starbucks, as long as you're in the Target, you get free refills.
Really?
Target hack, just found out about it. Did not know about
like
this.
One of those specialty type drinks?
Whatever drink it is, if you get a drink at the Starbucks,
yeah.
You get a drink from there as long as you're in that Target. If you go back, you're like, can I get another caramel macchiato?
Yeah, that's
a life hack.
I see why they do. I see why they give you that option.
Keep you in the store. Yeah, keep you in the store. Yeah. It's like, another $6 and you spend $20 on something. Yeah, cool. Whatever.
Do you have to buy something?
You have to buy the drink?
What if I just go in there and
they can't monitor that. But they'll keep you in the store. Listen, Target's one of those places where if you're in there long enough, you're bound to pick something else.
I love Target. Yeah.
So yeah.
I love Target.
Yeah, I love a good Target. But I didn't know about that one. So all the Target veterans, I'm not one of them. Okay. I learned from a Target veteran. That's a thing that they do.
Wow.
So that's cool. So for people, you have that for free. So yeah, so she and her sister would get free drinks from her sister's boyfriend at the Starbucks inside of a Target. Turns out Lorena was one of his regulars to the point where she would give him and his coworkers Christmas gift cards and even went to his coworker's wedding. So she was at the Starbucks a lot. Crazy to think that after all that controversy, she was able to live such a normal, peaceful life. Honestly, I love it for her. And I'm glad we crossed paths so I could send this story into you all. Love the podcast. Found you guys when you did your ad with MFM and have been a loyal listener ever since. Oh, thank you so much. Love seeing the growth of the podcast and can't wait to see what's next. All the best, Mariah. Mariah, great email. Great email. A little celebrity sighting, true crime edition. So that was fantastic. We got another email. Ooh, short and sweet. This one was a short and sweet one. Maybe what's
I looked up Lorena, but I didn't know what she looked like. So I looked her up.
Yes.
And
okay.
I looked her up.
Yes.
And then I guess somebody had like merch.
Lorena Bobbitt merch?
Yeah, and it say, "Don't be afraid to cut people off." Was a t-shirt. That's great.
Yeah. No, she cut somebody off for sure. The header, the subject line just says my TFTH story. So Anna, thank you so much for this, and we're gonna get into it. Hi, Alvin and Fran. My name is Anna. Feel free to use it as well as the other names mentioned in this story. And I found you guys through the Wine and Crime Gals when Alvin guest hosted recently. Well, it's been a little bit, but I get what you're saying. He had me cracking up, so I had to check out Affirmative Murder, and I'm so glad that I did. You guys have a great thing going on, and I look forward to every new episode that drops.
Hey man, it feels good to finally be in on some love. When you gonna do your little features and stuff like that. It feels nice when people come back and go like, oh, I love the podcast, love you and Fran. That makes me feel good.
I don't like the little that you put on there like that. That was a little shady, but that's fine. Little, you don't gotta,
I never said what.
The little thing. I don't like that. I see you got your little job. I see you got your little business. That's what you just did. I don't like that. I don't like that. But it's fine.
Hey man, I think you. No, I think you. think you're just taking it the wrong way. That's all.
Okay, well, I might be sensitive. That's fine.
So you owe me an apology.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Gaslight. Okay. Hey man, my bad. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I say, sorry.
I'm gonna get back to the email. So yeah, you guys have a great thing going. Thank you for every episode that drops. I was listening to your Tales from the Hood episode last week, and it reminded me that I have a story of my own to share. So this is the story about the time that I found out that my great-grandfather is a murderer. It's a bit of a wonky tale, but I'll do my best to keep it straight for you guys. The story starts 2 years ago.
Wait a second. How do you forget something like that?
That your great-grandfather's a murderer? Yeah. Maybe she never met him. Great-grandfather. I had a great-grandfather. He could have been super old. So the story starts 2 years ago when I was in Ohio visiting my older brother. We were born and raised in Northwest Ohio, but I moved down to Tennessee about 20 years ago, and I try to visit him whenever I get a chance to. Anyways, I was up for a visit in the spring of 2021. We had just lost our dad to pancreatic cancer, sorry to hear that, at the end of 2019, and it had inspired us to visit all of our family's different burial locations and plots in the area. We wanted to make maps of where the plots are and who is buried at each one for documentation to put with our family's genealogy records.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great idea.
So you can track things down. That's really good. Yeah, it's really good. Like a map of, that's really cool. We were in the office at the cemetery where we know our grandfather is buried and asked for the records of who else was buried there with him. There are 6 plots, and we recognized 5 out of 6 names on the listed of who was buried there. However, there was one name on the list that neither my brother nor myself recognized. And with my father now gone, we didn't know who to ask to find out about who this guy was. I was curious, but we had other cemeteries to visit, so I put this on the back burner until I could research who this person was. A few months passed by, and I was going through some of my dad's things when I found a folder that had other family members' birth and death certificates in it. I was looking through them, and I ran across a death certificate with a name that I didn't recognize on it at first. Then it hit me. It was the same name of the man who was buried in our family cemetery plot. And then I saw it. Listed right there was his manner of death. Homicide by a gunshot wound. He was only 21 years old when he was killed. My mind was reeling. Who was this guy? What were the circumstances of his death, and why did my dad have his death certificate? I immediately called my brother and told him what I found. And that's when my brother said, nonchalantly I might add, "Oh, so that must be the guy that our great-granddad shot." What? Just said it like, "Oh yeah, he's lactose intolerant." Yeah. Excuse me? How did our great-grandfather shoot and kill someone? And my question is, why are they buried in the same place? That's my question.
How do they have the death certificate?
Yeah. Well, I guess we've got to keep reading. So, excuse me? How did our great-grandfather shoot and kill someone? And I have never heard about this. My brother proceeded to tell me the story that my dad had told him once. The story goes like this. Apparently, way back in the day, my great-grandfather, his name was Vincent, was working on his car in his garage, and he had it up on a car's jack stand, so propped up. While he was laying underneath of the car, the jack fell and crushed his skull.
Oh shit.
He had a massive head injury and had to have a metal plate put in. After this, he was never the same. He started having a lot of mental health issues. One day, on April 25th, 1938 to be exact, Vincent was having an episode of paranoia. He thought the neighbors were plotting against him. His stepson, whose name was Joseph, happened to come home during this time, and my great-grandfather thought he was an intruder. He shot Joseph in the chest and also shot a female neighbor.
Wow.
The neighbor survived, but Joseph, who was only 21, died from his wounds. Joseph is his stepson, so that makes sense why he was buried in the same thing. After this, my great-grandfather was sent to the Lima State Mental Hospital for the Criminally Insane, where he lived until he died in 1968. And then someone thought it was a good idea to bury him right next to the stepson that he murdered. Yikes. I'm not sure how I lived my whole life without ever hearing this dark part of my family's history, but apparently you can find out some weird shit after a parent passes away. I've attached a few short news articles that I found regarding the incident. I hope y'all enjoyed my story about how I came to find out that there was a murderer in my family. Love you guys, Anna. And then attached is, 2 shot by Toledo man.
Yeah, so, my apologies.
Runs him up with shotgun.
I guess I should wait till I hear the story first.
I'm sure. I had to assume it would be in there somewhere.
So she didn't know. But I'm guessing, so her brother forgot the. I'm guessing her brother
knew
name,
but forgot
the guy's name. Because it probably didn't ring any bells.
Yeah, the stepson, and it's 1938, great grandfather. That's crazy. Yeah. So he probably didn't connect the dots, and a lot going on. They're like on a mission, like fucking national treasure, fucking making maps.
That's wild.
Wild stuff, man. Yeah, but got his head crushed by the jack, and then was never the same again, and then accidentally shot his stepson.
Yeah,
sad stuff there. Sad stuff. Thank you very much, Anna, for sharing that with us. That was awesome, crazy story, and a really cool idea about how you plotted out your family burial plots and stuff. That's really cool.
Ready to celebrate the dude that banished all the snakes from Ireland, allegedly? Well, you're gonna need drinks, so get them all from Drizzly, the go-to app for alcohol delivery. With Drizzly, you can shop local stores and can compare prices on beer, wine, and spirits, then get them all delivered in time for St. Patrick's Day. Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today. Must be 21 plus. Not available in all locations.
Save big on select Whirlpool and Maytag appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get deals on top items like the Whirlpool stainless steel kitchen suite and Maytag Pet Pro laundry pair that removes 5 times more pet hair. Plus, get free delivery when you spend $396 or more. Shop appliances for less in-store or online at Lowe's. Comparing normal cycle with Pet Pro filter and option to cycle using traditional agitator without Pet Pro filter and option. Results will vary based on fabric and type of pet hair. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. Offer ends 3/8.
We got another email from a listener named Darcy. I think that's the neighbor's name in Married with Children. No, that's their last name. Marcy Darcy. Okay. This email reads, he had no pants? Dear Fran and Alvin, I want to tell you how much I enjoy your podcast and hearing your perspectives on everything from current events, social media, dinosaurs, and entertainment recommendations. Keep up the good work. Now, on to my story. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. But I spent my formative years, ages 7 to 14, in Towson, Maryland. During elementary school, I was taken care of by a woman who lived across the street from the school. One day during winter break, when my mom had to work, I went to her house for the day. We had just gotten a foot of snow, and the older kids were allowed to go over to the school to sled down the big hill into the school's playground. This being the 80s, we were never sent out with any adult supervision. As the 3 of us, all 10-year-old girls, ran up and down the hill, a car pulled over and parked right alongside where we were making our runs. The driver moved into his passenger seat, swung the door open, and sat with his legs out of the car facing us. Now, I'll admit that I'm not the most observative person, but I noticed that this man wasn't wearing any pants. 10 years old to see that's crazy. I kept running up the hill and wondering why he wasn't wearing any pants, because his white legs kept getting redder and redder in the cold air. But my friends noticed that he was playing with his junk the whole time that we were sledding. After a little while, we felt really uncomfortable and decided to head back to the babysitter's house.
Run.
Yeah. Should. We told her what we saw, and she called the cops. All I remember was talking to the police officer and saying that I didn't understand why the guy wasn't wearing any pants. It just didn't make any sense to me why anyone would go out on a cold day without any pants. I don't think they ever caught the guy, and fortunately, this was the only time I was ever flashed in public, but it definitely stuck with me. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this story and can store it in the Guys Are Pervs file. Thanks for reading, Darcy. 3 10-year-old girls. Dude hops in the passenger seat, parks his car, and starts wanking it in the middle of wintertime with his no pants on in the car.
Yeah. Sick
guy, man. Sick world. Super sick world, man. Keep an eye on your kids. We've discussed this in the past, that's the 80s, so it's not even now, then creeps are always going to be around. And so you gotta keep an eye on your kids, man. It's wild stuff. We're going to read one more email and then we're going to get out of here. And this email is from Stephanie. No, we're not gonna say her last name. And Tales from the Hood, and the subject line is Tales from the Hood, Country Living. Hey, Alvin and Fran. I want to start by saying I first heard you guys on Morbid, then on Man Crime's episode of Wine and Crime. When I heard you with Amanda and Lucy, I knew I had to tune in.
You know what's always great to get, some love when people come over, when you do your little interviews and your little features that you do. It's always nice when they come back and they go, "Oh man, go listen."
Deja vu.
And they found out about me, your boyfriend. They go, "Oh, I love them both." And they stick around, man. I really love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Shout out to the people over there in Morbid too. Shout out to them. I missed that, but it's all good though.
I am black, so I love a good podcast by people that look like me, and I'm not going to lie. The Baltimore accents really hooked me. Thanks, Fran. My tale. Wait,
why me?
That's what she said.
Is that a compliment or is that a diss? Is that a diss to me? Is that a compliment for me and a diss to you? Or is that a compliment to you and a diss to me?
That's between you and Stephanie, man. That's y'all's business. Anyway, my tale from the hood is exactly that. A tale from the hood, and the only other podcast I listen to that would relate don't do minisodes. So here we go. I went to a private HBCU in Daytona Beach, Florida. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the saying or noticed that all HBCUs are in the hood, and mine was no different. I didn't think about that, but I guess Morgan is kind of... Yeah. Morgan State is...
It's a nice area, but...
It's a nice area, but it's not far from a not-so-nice area.
Yeah.
So,
it's a great campus, though.
Great campus. I never thought of that. I don't really know. I don't really have much of a familiarity with being on HBCU campuses other than Morgan. So with that being said, outside all the black excellence, we were also lit as fuck. So lit that there was always a party, and being that most parties were marketed to fresh meat on campus, I don't like that term, there was also transportation, being that freshmen were not allowed to have their cars on campus. On this night, my two friends and myself had all intentions on taking the transportation to this party. However, we needed to get some Mary Jane from the Haitian pot dealer at the Sit-Go. That's the most hood sentence I've ever heard in my life. We needed to get some Mary Jane from the Haitian pot dealer at the Sit-Go. As we made our walk to the Sit-Go in our Jocelyn's Cabaret outfits, we saw the party's transportation ride by us with Scrub in the background playing at full blast. Great song. Now, one might think we took the L on the party and decided that we should stay on campus and indulge in our shitty Florida weed. However, our fearless young host spirits would not allow it. As we leave the Sit-Go, grape game in hand, got to get the grape swisher, you know what I mean? Grape game in hand, we hear the countryest hard knock life, y'all going to Coco's, I'll give y'all a ride. Or something like that. It was 6 years ago now. Keep in mind the place I went to school was in the hood of one of the slower parts of Florida. So college parties were the only thing to do, even if you dropped out of high school and were working on your fourth kid. Painting a ratchet picture here. I love it. Hearing this question and being an idiot, I answered yes before I could look at my friends and see the fear that I knew that they would have behind their eyes. So with them talking mad shit under their breath, we pile into the car. I don't remember exactly what type of car it was, but what I do remember is it was some sort of van. All right. Oh, so many. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. When we get into the van, he tells us that he must make a couple of stops. Oh, my God. Jesus. That's the first time my heart dropped. But me being 18, bold, and forgetting every ass whooping I've ever received in the past, I puffed up my chest and asked, what are we stopping for? And why would you offer to take us somewhere if you had shit to do?
Right. Is it a public bus?
Gotta make a couple stops. He responds with something along the lines of, chill out, shawty. I'm gonna make a couple jugs and we'll be on our way. Now, for those of you who are unclear, a jug is a drug deal. So of course, the next question was,
hell no.
So of course, the next question was, what do you sell? I'm not sure, but I knew it wasn't weed.
Wait, she asked that?
She asked, like, yeah,
why?
What do you sell?
Get me out of this car.
Pull the car over. Yeah.
Like that.
Unless you jug Meals on Wheels, we don't need to be in the... Pull the car over. So, and she knew it wasn't weed. You really don't need to be in the car. Not that weed is... Don't ride around with a guy selling weed either. But anyway, his response still somehow blew my mind. In a regular, almost reassuring tone, he responded, hair on, shawty. No, and then his phone began to ring. You know those people that always talk on their phone on speaker? Or maybe it's a drug dealer thing. When he answers the phone, I hear a woman who already sounded like she burned her vocal cords with years of hard drug using. She asks, where you at? He here waiting for you. And to this, my drug dealer chauffeur responded, bitch, I told you I'm coming. Don't call me no more. Then I look at my friends, one of which who literally has tears in her eyes, try to apologize, but I knew I was probably going to lose my friends, lose a friend or two if we made it out alive.
Oh, absolutely. This is it.
They're like, sorry, bitch, why would you say yes? Let's get in this car. You have us in the car with a heroin dealer?
They could have said no too, though.
That's fair. They could have been like, you can go, and then it's like, I'm not going to go by myself.
Exactly. They can't put the blame solely on you.
Yeah, they all got in the van. They all got in the van.
That's crazy.
The heroin van.
The heroin van.
We pull up to what I pray is the lady with the trach in her throat. But of course, I was wrong. We pull up to what I don't know how to describe as anything other than the block. And the car begins to be circled by rabid men, most of which were missing main teeth.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking fronts and canines, and wearing dirty t-shirts. My friends are literally staring daggers at me, praying to God. And honestly, at this point, I am too. Knowing that I got us into this situation, I know I must fix things. I literally begin begging that he please just take us back to the school. He didn't even have to take us to the party. He responds, chill, baby girl. I'm going to take y'all to Coco's. And we pull off again. So
how does he know is this a club?
I thought they said a house party, but I guess Coco's is a club. They said this. Okay. They had on their freakum dresses, so I guess they got their freakum dresses on to go to the club.
How did he know who's Coco?
Coco must be a club. Okay. Yeah, Coco's must be a club, and he wanted to go too, I think. So it's like, I'm gonna make my jugs, get some money in my pocket, and then I'll take you guys to Coco's and I'll buy you guys drinks. Crazy. In his mind, this is perfectly normal.
What van is this? Can you Google some vans and try to find what van?
I want it to be a van that has like one of those airbrush murals on the side. I want it to be a cool van. Not what I hope it's not is a white windowless conversion van. I really hope it's not that. I hope it has some swagger to it, some lights underneath or something. Come on. Don't just get in a white van with no windows. Anyway, back to the story. So the van pulls off. This time we do go to Coco's. Honestly, a little to my dismay, because I was interested in seeing the lady who called on the phone, but happier to make it out alive. Oh, so you live for danger a little bit. She was kind of tempted to ride this out.
I want to see her too.
She wanted to see how it ends.
Yeah.
But no, so they get to Coco's. So we go to the party, and I'm not exactly sure when I realized, because I honestly don't remember tripping until the next day, but I had lost my phone.
Wow. Not
only did I lose my phone, this was the peak of card sleeves on the back of phones. So I had lost my room key, ID, debit card, and I was a complete idiot who had my social security card in the back. Goodness. However, when I did realize, I began to call my phone frantically. After about the third call, someone picked up. Thank the Lord it was my heroin dealing homie, and he was willing to meet me at the local chicken spot near the campus. When he gave me the phone, he scolded me about being irresponsible and sent me on my way. Getting scolded by a heroin dealer who that's gotta hurt extra. I literally love this story, and I'm so grateful for my experience at that institution. Thank you guys for being who you are, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not about to proofread this again, but if this does make it on the pod, I want to shout out my friend Aaliyah. She's from the DMV, and listening to you guys makes me feel closer to her. She was one of the friends in the story, and I guess that means that she didn't unfriend you after you guys got to Coco's, which is great, because friends can go through adversity and still come out friends, right?
Well, I'm glad you guys are safe. And
that was, oh my God, got to Coco's
in one piece.
Mm-hmm. That was all incredibly irresponsible and dumb. But I also am like, I kind of live for it a little bit, because I'm like, people, one dumb thing can get you killed.
Yeah.
But also one dumb thing could be a story that you tell for the rest of your life, like in this situation. So sometimes you do the dumb thing and everything works out and it was dangerous and dumb and don't ever do it again, but it was also kind of fun.
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't want to take that risk. I don't know.
Good point. But we have some dumb stories.
Not like that.
No, it was crazy.
If I'm in a van, I don't know how this ends.
Yeah, like I don't know if we're gonna get out. At no point do we have any stories where I go, I mean, we might not get back home tonight. Like that's never been a thought. I don't have any stories like that where I'm like, we might die. Like this could go bad or get arrested or something. Like so. But hey, I think that's great. And shout out to you, Stephanie. And thank you for sharing that with us. And I don't think all HBCUs are in the hood. I know and I know one, but maybe they're not all. Where's Spelman? Is Spelman in a nice neighborhood? Let's get all the HBCU alumni who listen to this podcast. I don't know how many there are, and let's dispel this. Prove me and Stephanie wrong. I say Morgan is kind of hood adjacent. She's saying the HBCU that she went to in Daytona was kind of hood adjacent or in the hood. Let's big up some HBCUs that are just like beautiful.
Why gotta be hood though? Why can't it just be predominantly black areas?
We know the difference. We know the difference. I don't think that's what she's saying. Don't accuse Stephanie of being racist to her own people. I know what she meant. She didn't mean, it's just all black neighborhood. No, she meant it's in the hood. And I get what she means. Because we both go, Morgan's a beautiful school. Why I wouldn't say it's in the middle of the hood, but the hood's not far from Morgan.
Right, but I'm saying, why do we have to say hood though? Why can't it just be like Morgan? That example is like, it's not the hood, but it's all black. It's some black people around here.
It's all black neighborhood, yeah.
But it don't have to be the hood though.
It doesn't have to be the hood, but not all black neighborhoods are the hood. That's what I'm saying. I know wealthy Buckhead in Atlanta, very affluent. Atlanta itself.
Yeah, but you can tell a difference though.
That's what I'm saying. She's saying chicken spot, heroin dealers driving around, picking people up in vans. That's the hood.
How you know they're not doing that in like flourishing all black neighborhoods?
Yes. Okay, well, I don't think there's heroin people. I don't know.
How do you know? Do you do heroin?
You're right. I don't know what a heroin van looks like offhand. I could have seen all kind of vans drive by.
Yeah.
You know, friend, you make a good point. They could be dealing heroin in the upper middle class black neighborhoods too. So let's just stop calling it the hood. It's just only predominantly black neighborhoods. Huh?
All people do drugs, only not poor people.
You're right. Hey man, what?
What? I'm just saying.
Why are you attacking me, man? I'm not saying fuck black people or whatever it is. I don't know what you're trying to make.
But you are.
I'm not.
Psych, I'm just.
I would never.
Just give me a hard time.
Yeah. So Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate you sending this in to us. And before we get out of here, let me just say one last time, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Send them in, get them in. We would love to hear from you guys. Tell us your stories, wild stories, like Stephanie, getting in vans with people she doesn't know.
Don't get in vans, people.
Don't get in vans with people you don't know. Especially a van. You know, I don't know what car, but a van is on the list of don'ts. I don't know what car is on the list of do's, but a van is on the list of don't get in this vehicle. But if you do have stories like Stephanie, you just were young, wild, and free and careless and whatever, and you live to tell about it, that's great. Get it into affirmativemurder@gmail.com. We'd love to hear you in the audio version as well. That'd be great. We can't get enough of you guys. We love you guys. We think you're great. And we appreciate you guys giving us a platform like this. Affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Be a part of the podcast. We would love to have you. And with that being said, hey, it's been another Tales from the Hood minisode, man. We love doing this thing. It's so fun, crazy, and wild. Fran, let them know.
Always be on the lookout.
See you guys next week.
Save big on select Whirlpool and Maytag appliances at Lowe's. Right now, get deals on top items like the Whirlpool stainless steel kitchen suite and Maytag Pet Pro laundry pair that removes 5 times more pet hair. Plus, get free delivery when you spend $396 or more. Shop appliances for less in-store or online at Lowe's. Comparing normal cycle with Pet Pro filter and option to cycle using traditional agitator without Pet Pro filter and option. Results will vary based on fabric and type of pet hair. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. Offer ends 3/8.